On any given night, more than 500,000 people in the United States have no home. 17% of those are considered chronically homeless. Many suffer from mental illness. Officials from 32 states and 3 foreign countries recently looked at a program modeled in Tulsa that may solve the problem by providing permanent housing for the homeless.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony at a new Habitat for Humanity house kicked off the National Conference for Mental Health America and the Zero Mental Health Symposium in Tulsa.
But today we're extending a hand of fellowship and congratulations to Gayla Patrick and her family. So, Gayla, come up here.
Volunteers from the Mental Health Association of Tulsa helped build the house. Gayla has a young son with severe disabilities and also has mental health issues in her family of 4.
It helped out a lot, a whole lot. No more renting, so that's a good thing. But it's going to be truly a blessing for me and my family.
According to those in attendance, this is what America should look like, a home for everyone. But this is what it looks like for many around Oklahoma and the nation. Do you have some problems in your life?
Yeah.
Like what?
Babysitting. What does he have to always babysit?
Who?
Wayne. Let's see, Wayne.
Judy told me she wasn't quite sure of her age and couldn't tell me about her family. Pamela Hyde heads up the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration for the federal government.
Of the people who are chronically homeless in our country, at least 30% have a serious mental illness and 60% have a substance use disorder, and there are other people who have more minor mental illnesses.
She was one of many featured speakers heard by more than 800 attendees from across the U.S. who were here to find a way to end chronic homelessness.
Frankly, in America, I don't think the word homeless should even have to exist.
The professionals at the conference are striving to meet the goals set forth by Estelle Richman, the senior advisor to the Secretary for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Continue to work on eliminating veteran and chronic homelessness by 2015. We also have a goal of eliminating family homelessness and all other ranges of homelessness by 2020. But every time I go to a meeting, we are reminded that 2015 is just around the corner.
One way to end chronic homelessness is to follow what Sam Sabaris created in 4 major cities in the U.S. It's called the Housing First model.
It was housing on their terms. They could go to treatment if they wanted, but it wasn't mandated. Most people actually chose to go to treatment after they were housed. They calmed down and they wanted to do something better.
He says before Housing First, the consensus of opinion was that mental health symptoms led to people being homeless.
What we figured out was, no, it wasn't about their symptoms at all. It was about their poverty. And so when we made them the offer of getting them an apartment right away, people engaged, because previously it's like, oh, come to treatment, get medication, and maybe we'll get you housing eventually when you're ready.
We bought existing properties.
Greg Shin was a colleague of Sambaris in New York before coming to work at the Mental Health Association of Tulsa. He established the Housing First model in Tulsa. The Altamont Apartments is one of 18 buildings in 14 neighborhoods scattered across the city that house more than 600 people with mental health challenges. Conference attendees took bus tours to learn about the Housing First model.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Altamont.
Frank Vincent lives at the Altamont Apartments. He read a poem he wrote about the Mental Health Association counselors.
Anyway, counselors, thanks for your professionalism and your understanding and your help and your smiles, especially when on your desk your paperwork does pile. You are an inspiration and you stimulate our lives. You make it all worthwhile. So thanks again, wonderful counselors, for your understanding smiles.
Once inside, visitors got to see the room Frank calls home. They also learned the importance of cookies to the people who live here. Some of the residents bake them in the kitchen at Tulsa's B'nai Amunah Synagogue.
The essential thing is that we bake side by side as equals in the kitchens of the synagogue, Everyone at the synagogue is a volunteer, and every resident is a paid professional. This is an actual, self-supporting business which pays its bakers a dignified wage. Each one is building a resume for future work.
A slideshow shows the work they do. Altamont resident Lydia McClain is one of the cookie bakers. She is paid $10 an hour, but the money is not the only benefit she receives.
There's days that I go in that I'm very depressed. I have depression. And when I get going, it's gone. It just disappears, and it's like I can't wait to get to work.
Another stop on the tour was the Yale Avenue apartments, where formerly homeless residents live in relatively new units. Many of those who work here and at all mental health association properties understand residents' mental health struggles.
55% of our employees have or have had a serious mental illness related issue. 45% of our employees have been homeless at least once. A number of those 4 or more times.
Max Parker has battled severe mental illness in the past. He is the program coordinator at Denver House, another stop on the tour. This is Oklahoma's first and only peer-to-peer drop-in center for adults experiencing mental illness, homelessness, or both.
They have a certification called a CPRSS. They're a certified peer recovery support specialist through the state of Oklahoma, and they have to do a lot of stuff to maintain that certification.
I come here and talk to them. I get my mind get to messing with me. I'd have to come talk to somebody, and I talk to Max or some of the ladies here to help.
Great strides were being made nationally to reduce chronic homelessness before the 2009 recession started. That's according to Lisa Stand, who is a senior analyst at the National Alliance to End Homelessness.
We knew permanent supportive housing is a solution because we had seen dramatic declines in chronic homelessness, namely 28% between the years 2005 and 2009.
Stan says after that, effort stalled. She and other speakers hope the expansion of Medicaid through the Affordable Care Act will help reach the goal of ending chronic homelessness by the year 2015.
And it's still true that permanent supportive housing ends chronic homelessness. Just ask our hosts here in Tulsa. Very recent success with a proven strategy.
83% of those placed in housing by the Tulsa Mental Health Association do not return to homelessness. Other cities using the Housing First model are seeing the same success rate.